Did you know that if you submit your podcast and you host it on Libsyn, they can actually push automatically to hundreds of podcast players? In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about Libsyn, why we use it, why all the major podcasters use it, and give you a quick tutorial about how you can sign up in under 5 minutes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Before we get started, make sure you guys like this video, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and drop me a comment below, because all of those things help me with the YouTube algorithm to continue to grow this channel and bring you amazing content. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Libsyn. We've been on Libsyn for years at this point, and I know there's other podcast hosts out there. It's important that you know what a host is and why you need it. I think it's the same way if you have a WordPress website, you need to have it hosted somewhere, right? So the interface, what you see on the player, is hosted somewhere else. It's like the engine for your car, right? So just kind of understand that that's like the chassis is what you see, the engine is what drives it, the host is the engine. That's like the best metaphor I can use. But let's go ahead and go through. I'm going to show you how you can sign up quickly, and I've already started the process here. I'm going to show you how to do it on the screen and go through the entire process. It's going to literally take less than 5 minutes. Okay, so you're gonna go through, you're gonna hit sign up, you're gonna put in the name of the URL that you want, and then you're gonna go to this, which is gonna allow you to choose your plan, right? So it's gonna show you classic versus advanced. So you'll see here you have 3 options in your classic, ranging from $5 to $15, and then advanced is $20 to $150. Now, the biggest difference, obviously they have things, broken down for you here. The biggest thing that you're gonna note though is this right here, which is the storage. So basically, if you don't know, you're like, I have no idea. What is 50 megabytes? I don't know how many files, what the file size of my podcast is going to be. What I have come to find after doing a podcast for 5 years is that roughly every minute of your show is going to equate into a megabyte. All right. So this would basically mean you would have enough storage space to do a 50-minute podcast episode. That's what it's basically going to allow for. Your $7 a month is going to be your basic stats plus the extra 50 megabytes is my understanding. And then this $15 is going to give you 250 megabytes. So I'm pretty sure even today I'm on the $15 plan. And the reason being is because I do 4 episodes a month. Sometimes we go over that. So 4 times about 60 minutes typically gets us right where we need to be in terms of where we want. But as you continue to go forward, you'll see there's options that most popular is 400 megabytes. So it just depends on how many episodes you plan on doing and then how long those episodes are. If you have 10-minute episodes, you're not going to need that much, right? And you're going to do a couple a month. You could quickly get under. You could do the $5 a month plan, right? Because you're only going to do about 20 to 30 minutes worth. Okay, so we're going to choose one for now. I'll just choose the basic classic plan. We don't have a promo code. I suppose if you had one, you could add it here. And then just put in some basic information, right? Where you're from, address, billing information, stuff like that. You're going to confirm it, put in your area code, and then your postal code rather, then you are going to move on, and that's it. You have an account at this point. Okay, so something they've done new since I signed up, and again, this was years ago at this point, but something they have now is how to start podcast step by step. They also have a bunch of different resources that you can check out. If you're migrating, you have some resources there. So I have not gone through these resources, but it looks like it's going to be extremely helpful for you to do that. So I would recommend, if you're brand new to podcasting, you absolutely take advantage of those resources, because that looks like it'd be extremely helpful. Okay, so if you want to skip all that, you just go to the dashboard, and this will show you your dashboard. Eventually, you'll have stats here of downloads and things of that nature. And you have some quick publish options. All of these are things that I never use. I'll be totally candid with you. But I'll show you exactly how you're going to do it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to go to settings. All right, so we're going to go to edit your show settings, and you want to add a quick description. You have your slug here. I'll tell you exactly why that's important here in a minute. If you want to add your website address to your actual website, if you have a website, you don't have to have one. You can add that here. And then this is actually going to be important. So you can pick episodic or serial, right? So basically it's going to be listening in an order isn't all that important. If you're going to have a show where it is sequential, you do want to select serial, right? Meaning you're going to have they need to listen in a particular order, or they're not going to understand what it is you're talking about. Usually most people are just going to have episodic. If you want to put in a subtitle, you can for the show. I've done it. It will show up on the podcast player, so it might be helpful to you, specifically when it comes to what category you're going to come under. Next, this is very important. Actual categories are really, really important. So you want to make sure you get as close to possible as what your show is going to discuss, and you can see that there are quite a few options. So if you're in business, you've got careers, entrepreneurship, investing, management, marketing, nonprofit, etc. You're going to want to use all 3 of those, and I would make sure you do it in the order of importance that your show is going to talk about, right? So if there's a subcategory of what you're going to talk about, like if mine is entrepreneurship, but it's also educational, right? Then I can go to, yes. So Education here, I actually skimmed over it too quickly. Education, I could do self-improvement for mine. I could do just regular education. And then I believe the third one I chose was health, because I talk about a lot of health stuff. So I'd probably do something about alternative health or something to that effect. Public contact email, this is optional. You don't have to add that. Owner's name, I did add that. Owner email and author, I did add all of those things. Content rating, so typically if your show is going to have a lot of bad words, 4-letter words, you're going to want to add explicit or clean. Language, obviously it's already set to English. You could change that if you wanted to. Keywords, I would recommend using some of those. It does help. Although podcasts aren't really search platforms, it will help if people are searching particular topics. It will help you to add those tags, so that's important. This, again, they give you pretty good warnings here. If you add a phone number, you will have those people contacting you. So if you want people to contact you, I don't know why. Maybe you do have a show. Maybe you're taking consultations from your show. Maybe that it would be helpful for you to have that. So this is interesting. This is new, the default show feed. So you can use the Libsyn Classic feed or the custom third-party feed. So I would probably use the Libsyn Classic feed because that's the one I'm using, and I'm not even certain as to what the custom third-party feed is, unless you want to research that further on your own. You can add a copyright notice if you'd like. Now, this is going to be a really important aspect here. This is going to be probably one of the most important things you do outside of good, solid audio quality, right? So you want a really good microphone. We're going to talk about that later in this series. But as far as this goes, what you're going to want is actually tells you 1400 by 1400 pixels is what you want to design your artwork. So this is the thumbnail that people are going to see when they're scrolling through. We're going to talk more about creating a thumbnail later on in this series, but just as a general rule, try to use the parameters that they suggest, and also try to make sure that when you create your thumbnail, you back out so you see what it looks like when it's literally this small, because that's how people are going to see it when they scroll to your show. And then you could choose your basic theme color. This actually will show up. So if you go to somebody's show and you see that it's a different color, they've got like a black background or they've got a purple background or what have you, you're going to change that here. You add all of your social media handles if you'd want to here. And then you are good to go. You're just gonna make sure you hit save, because it is important that you do hit save on these different things. We'll go ahead and do that. If there's anything missing, it's gonna tell you. You have to go back and add that. Looks like you actually do have to have your website address here, which is interesting. I didn't know that was the case. But other than that, you'd be done with that, right? Now, something that I recommend, and we're gonna talk about this in other episodes in this series, but is adding new destinations. So there are some that automatically push. Libsyn will push to majority of podcast players. There's a few that won't, right? So you might have to, well, I know you will have to for sure, upload manually. You're gonna have to get approved on Stitcher. You're gonna have to get approved on Pandora. You're gonna have to get approved on Spotify, but you can do the Spotify one through here, and you will have to get approved on Apple Podcast. Anybody else, it's gonna be out there. So a lot of the big ones out there will do it automatically. And now the good thing here is that on Libsyn, it actually gives you the opportunity to add more. So you can go to add a new destination, and it gives you a lot of options like iHeartRadio, Radio Public, radio.com. I'm not sure what Deezer is. I've never used that. Player FM. There's a lot of players you've probably never heard of that will pop up here. So you'll give those options here, and you're going to hit add. And it's literally that simple, right? So you'll hit add, you'll get approved, and you'll see that your show is up and running on those different platforms. The other thing, too, is that they do have Spotify here, like I mentioned. So it looks like a change that they've made here, which is fantastic, because this is like within the last month or so. At the time I'm recording this, is that Spotify has actually been added as a default here, which is fantastic because that's an extra step that you don't have to take. And Spotify has really made a lot of steps, specifically with the Rogan podcast and things of that nature, where they're really trying to expand upon their podcast offerings more. So it looks like you're automatically going to have your show added to this destination because you're already getting a URL to Spotify. So just confirm that indeed does happen, but having a URL already is a great sign that that's the case. And then lastly, what you'll do, and there's a lot of different things you can peruse around and check out, is you're going to add content. So typically what I do is I go to add new episode. What you'll see here is you're going to add your media file. We're going to have an editing video in this series, so hang tight on that. You'll upload from your hard drive, or wherever it is you're going to upload from. Once you see that'll be uploaded, you'll go to details. You'll add in the name of your episode. So let's say it's episode 1. And we're going to say intro to my show, right? You'll put a subtitle. This is who I am. And then here you'll say, and actually on this, what I recommend, that a lot of people have a default, right? So they'll have something on here as far as like next steps, like join my mastermind group here, or they'll come in and just change their basic links. But you want to make sure you have some kind of call to action that's pretty consistent, like go to my website, or here's this free lead magnet that I offer, or here's how to contact me, or whatever the case may be. Usually we copy and paste, and then we just insert links that are contingent upon that episode. You'll go down here. Pretty much this is going to stay the same. If you want to add keywords and tags to that specific episode, you can. You can actually change it for Apple if you want to change things once you get approved here to have certain things apply differently to Apple than other platforms, which we don't necessarily do. So I wouldn't be too concerned with that. It will push regardless of whether you add that or not. It will push to Apple once you're approved regardless. So here you go to artwork. If you want to change it for that particular episode, you can. If you want to keep it consistent for just your show's basic thumb, you can do that as well. And then you can either schedule it. So you can go, hey, I want this to release. I'm editing it on Tuesday. I want it to release on Thursday, or I'm going to edit like 4 or 5 in a row for an entire month. Then you could just schedule all of them out and they'll just publish when you want them to, which is good for your audience because they know when to consistently expect your content to release. And then what you'll do is you'll just go here. If there's anything else you want to add, you can do that, or you can just hit publish here at the bottom and it'll be, good to go. Now at the end, and I can't show you this because unfortunately I'm not actually publishing a podcast right now, it'll give you an actual embed code. So if you want to take that embed player, there's various options you can choose from that you can actually take that and embed it in your blog, which is something I really recommend with podcasting, is to have that on your blog because then you do have searchable content. So you can have it transcribed, have a basic blog written about the content and what you're talking about in it with the link to that, and then buttons that say listen on Apple, listen on Spotify, listen on Stitcher, listen on Pandora, whatever it is you want to send people to, you give them that option to do so. But there's some really cool players that you can embed on your site for that specific episode. So that's a really cool feature. Okay, so then next, let's go to stats because this is something that's going to be really important to you. So this is, looks like they're not going to give you a really, if you do a basic count, this is different. It looks like they're not going to give you a lot of stats compared to normal other than just the basic stats here. So it looks like you're going to get some basic stats, but you're going to have to upgrade now, which is a different thing that they've done before. I have this, so I must be grandfathered in. But it looks like you have to update or upgrade your subscription to have some detailed stats. That may be something to look into, maybe something worthwhile, probably not to start, but at some point you want to know where your downloads are coming from, what age group, what episodes are being downloaded versus just overall episodes. So it doesn't look like your specific content is going to actually have stats with it, and that's something that I think you're really going to need at some point, and maybe you would. It looks like under episodes you would have that. It'll tell you what podcast players you're getting your downloads from, so if you're getting them from Apple or Spotify or Pandora or whatever, where those things are coming from. So as you publish, make sure you look and see. Looks like unique download statistics for date ranges, for episodes, and from destinations. Yeah, so you would probably need this, meaning you would need an advanced account if you really need these analytics. To start, again, probably not necessary. Get it off the ground and then eventually upgrade once you think things are running and you got a handle on things. So I wouldn't overly concern myself with this immediately, but over time you'll want to know that. And then here what you'll see is under storage usage, you'll see basically how much you've used. Now, the good thing is, and maybe you're wondering this before about storage, it does archive every single month. So if you use your 50 megabytes, and let's say your last episode you're trying to publish is going to go over your threshold of 50 megabytes, you could literally wait a day until the next month if you were publishing at the end of the month. You could wait the next day and you'll have your 50 megabytes again. So sometimes I've done that. They're really good about prorating too. So if you needed to upgrade for a particular month and then downgrade the next month because you had an extra bonus episode or something, you could do that very seamlessly. Okay, and then here, and this is something that's going to be a concern to you later down the road, probably not immediately, but they do have monetizing options where you can apply for certain things and sell subscriptions and stuff like that. I've applied for it before. Usually they recommend have at least 20,000 downloads a month. Again, I've not had tremendous success with this. I usually use my podcast in a different capacity to kind of promote what I'm doing versus promoting other people's stuff, but it might be something you look into if your show does take off, and maybe you've got a show that there isn't direct monetization, you're talking about entertainment or something like that, but you are getting a lot of downloads. This might be something to look into, and it's good that they provide an option that you can secure advertising, which I think is great. Okay, and that is basically it. That is how you get your show up and running, plus understanding the basics of Libsyn. Stick around to watch the rest of the series so I can talk to you about the rest of launching your podcast the right way. We're going to talk about cover art. We're going to talk about equipment. We're going to talk about microphones. We're going to talk about editing. We're going to cover all of those basics. So if you are interested in podcasting, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can get the next videos in these series. And I will see you guys in the next one.